Hey everybody, it's Monica B, creator of HeyMonicaB.com, a blooming resource on Ayurveda, and author of In Your Elements, a blooming Ayurvedic guide to creating your best life. Each Friday, we talk about an Ayurvedic diet or lifestyle tidbit to enhance our health and life. And I like to call it, what does Ayurveda say about ? So today we are going to talk about and answer the question, what does Ayurveda say about hunger? Sometimes we might wonder, am I supposed to feel this hungry? I feel hungry all the time. Sometimes we might feel like I'm not hungry at all. I never feel hunger. And sometimes we're taught, like I was way back in the day, is that we're actually not ever supposed to feel hungry. So we should eat 5 to 6 meals a day so that we don't feel hungry. And that did happen to me. I went to see a nutritionist about 10 years ago. This is before I knew Ayurveda because I wanted to do better for myself. And I was also a personal trainer. So I was teaching people, about their bodies and fitness and wanted to learn more about nutrition too. And I was told to eat 5 or 6 meals a day to never get hungry. And what happened? I gained, I don't know how much weight because I don't have a scale, but I gained some pounds in about 2 weeks. And my pants were tight. Everything was tight. I felt heavy. I felt just really overall kind of awful. And I was like, I don't think this is working for me. And it wasn't until I discovered Ayurveda that I figured out why. So what does Ayurveda say about hunger? It is good to feel hungry. There are 3 things why it is good to feel hungry. Number 1, it is a signal from our digestive fire that the previous food has been digested and it's time for more. Agni, our digestive fire, is essentially saying, hey, I'm ready for a project now. I'm ready to digest the nutrients and use them appropriately because I'm hungry. I need a job to do. And so it is our signal to eat. If we are not feeling hungry, we need to wait until we actually do feel hungry because our bodies, our agni, might still be processing some old food that was harder to digest. So sometimes we need to give it a rest. So that's number 1. If we feel hungry, it's a signal to eat. And number 2, along with that, is we want to eat at the right time. Okay, so it's not just I'm hungry all the time, so I'm just going to keep eating and eating. It is I am hungry at the right time. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Susan. Hi, Jane. Hi, Robin. Good to see you. And the right time is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now I have caveats with these 3 things too, so just hang with me. So at the right time, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if for pitta type people with a lot of fire in them regularly, they might feel some extra fire and want a snack at like 10 a.m. or they might want a snack in the afternoon if they've burned through their food. If you need a snack, my suggestion is having a piece of fruit. That's what Ayurveda says. Have something very, very light or a little bit of herbal tea. And eat at the right times. We do not want to be eating wonky all day long. We don't want to be eating at 9 o'clock at night. We don't want to be eating our lunch at 3 o'clock. We want to keep it to a schedule. So breakfast early-ish in the morning around 7 a.m. is great and it should be small. So breakfast is a small meal. Lunch is going to be around noon. I say anywhere between 11:30 and 1 o'clock is doing pretty good. And that should be the biggest meal of the day. And then go around the clock to dinner. Dinner should also be small because our digestive fire is not as strong in the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, but it's really nice and strong during midday at noon. Okay? So number 1, signal to eat. You got to wait until Agni says it's time to eat. Number 2, eating at the right time. And number 3 is where I'm going to throw in confusion. And number 3 is eating according to your dosha. So Vatas do really well with like 4 meals a day actually, because Vatas can't eat a whole lot at one time. They tend to munch and want to snack a lot. They can't eat a whole lot and then they burn through it and they're hungry again. But we don't want to eat like 8 meals a day. You don't want to munch like a little munchy goat all day long. We want to just have the 3 meals, and Vatas sometimes need a 4th meal a little bit later, like a little small bowl of rice or a little handful of almonds, little handful of raisins, so that they can actually sleep the whole night through. Sometimes Vatas wake up and they're very, very hungry. So for Vatas, around 4 meals a day. For Pittas, 3 meals a day, and they will probably be hungry for all the meals at the right time. The Pittas have no problem eating, that's for sure. They got that fire, they're ready to eat, and they're excited to eat. So great. Those 3 meals a day is good for Pitta, and for Kapha, they're going to want like 2 meals a day. They don't have the big, strong digestive fire. They have a slow, low burn. So they're going to digest their food a little bit slower, and they'll be happy-go-lucky about it. They don't need a lot of food. Eating too much food for a Kapha can actually cause weight gain and some of those other Kapha problems because they don't need that much. So based on waiting for the signal to eat and eating at the right time and considering our dosha, if we're not hungry, it is okay to skip a meal. We want to fast and we want to sip ginger tea. If we're eating at the right times, then great. If you're eating at the right times, you're hungry and you're watching this and you're like, oh yeah, I feel a little hungry for breakfast. I feel some hunger for lunch, and I feel hunger for dinner. And I don't feel hungry and snacky at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, because that's when you should be going to bed. Then you're doing awesome. Okay. So thank you, Tracy. Mwah. Big love to you. I miss you. Okay. So takeaways for today. What does Ayurveda say about hunger? It says, if you're feeling hungry, that's good. Eat at the right times, specifically for your dosha, if you can think about that. But if not, don't worry too much. Don't stress about it. The last thing we want to do is put stress in our food. So eat at the right times. Number 2, if you don't feel hungry, skip the meal. Let the digestive fire catch up so that it can digest all of that food. Old foodstuffs can become a problem. It can create what's called ama, which is toxins, and that can just cause all myriad of different health problems. So make sure that we're not overeating our food. Give Agni a chance to catch up. So along with your fast of not eating, you can help it out by sipping some ginger tea. It's my tried and true, super favorite, and very Ayurvedically recommended way to fast and stoke that digestive fire. The other thing that you could do is bring up some heat. Maybe you go for an exercise and really get your body pumping and get some sweat happening, because that in itself brings heat up from the inside. Okay? You can check your tongue if you want to. If your tongue is a little bit murky or pale, it means Agni's probably not ready to eat. But if it's nice and pink, it's digested the food and you're all set and ready to go. Okay, so those 2 takeaways again. If you're feeling hungry, good. Eat at the right time. If you don't feel hungry, skip a meal, fast, sip ginger tea until you feel that nice hunger burn. Does anybody have any questions? Hi, John Cowles. It's so good to see you. Tracy says, will ginger tea keep balance if a vata isn't hungry and waits? Ginger tea will still continue to grow that digestive fire. So if a vata isn't hungry and waits, that's okay. If the vata starts feeling really passy-outy or weak, that vata is going to probably want to have something light, like a little bit of rice, maybe even a little bit of ghee, because as we know, ghee helps digestive fire grow, and it's also a nice oil for vata. So I would recommend a little something. Sometimes when we don't eat enough food at the right time, Agni can go down, and it doesn't function as well as it would normally because it's not quite trained the right way. That goes into a little bit deeper discussion about Agni and nutrition, but I hope that helps. Sometimes we need to give the fire a little kindling. That's what breakfast is for. We have a little kindling to stoke this fire so it's nice and big by noon, so we can have our nice big meal. It can digest it all day long. It has all kinds of time to do that. And then we have a small dinner, because Agni will get smaller at the end of the day too. It's not as strong as it was before. And so if we put a whole bunch of food in our stomachs at the end of the day, we're going to feel sluggish. It might be hard to wake up. And that's how we start storing extra food stuff. Yeah. So I hope this helps you today. Make sure if this helped you, make sure you like it, share it, and follow my page so that you can find out our topic that we talk about every Friday at 11 o'clock Pacific time. And for more Ayurveda, please visit me at heymonicab.com. And as always, until next week, we'll keep bringing Ayurveda to life. Mwah.